drought across much of the Southwest has led to an unexpected discovery in Texas: dinosaur tracks.
In a time not very far away, the huge desert of Saudi Arabia was thought of as a never-ending and very hot wilderness. Its very extreme weather and tough conditions made it seem like a place where life couldn't possibly survive. Covering an area of over 250,000 square miles, it is one of the biggest deserts on Earth. The desert stretched as far as the eye could see, with intense heat and shifting sands. The landscape, untouched and wild, was painted in shades of gold, crimson, and amber under the blazing sun. The temperature often exceeded a scorching 120 degrees Fahrenheit. At first glance, the Saudi Arabian desert appeared as an unforgiving dry land where life struggled to exist. It seemed so barren and hostile that it seemed impossible for any hidden treasures to be found. The scorching heat, endless sea of sand, and harsh weather all contributed to the perception that this was an inhospitable and unyielding place. However, a group of adventurous workers saw beyond the heat and sandstorms. They believed that beneath the surface, there might be a different story waiting to be discovered. These explorers ventured into the depths of the desert, ready to uncover the unknown. What they found surpassed all expectations. Amidst the desolation, they stumbled upon a surprising discovery that challenges our perception of the Saudi Arabian desert. It was proof that even the most formidable landscapes can hold extraordinary secrets. Recent scientific revelations have completely transformed our understanding of the desert. The notion that it is just a land of endless sand and unbearable heat is now proven to be a misconception. Instead, it is a treasure trove of remarkable archaeological discoveries. Let's embark on this fascinating journey of discovery. One of the most captivating discoveries is the existence of underground riverbeds and hidden lakes within the desert. Through extensive studies, scientists have realized that this dry, desolate area was once covered by a lush, vibrant tropical rainforest, similar to the Amazon rainforest we know today. However, environmental changes over time transformed it into the arid landscape we see today. But what's even more astonishing is the finding of fossils, the remains of organisms that have long disappeared from our planet. These fossils are preserved within rocks, buried in silt, or embedded in other geological materials. They have significantly contributed to our understanding of the complex process of evolution that has shaped Earth's diverse range of species. In the vast expanse of the Saudi Arabian desert, scientists have unearthed a wide array of fossils, each with its own captivating story. In 2020, a team of dedicated scientists discovered dinosaur footprints in the Rub al-Khali Desert. Initially studying the desert's unique geological features, this international group used advanced technology, including drones and satellite imagery, to meticulously examine the surface. They uncovered perplexing patterns resembling footprints and decided to investigate further. Their excavation revealed remarkably well-preserved dinosaur tracks embedded within ancient, hardened swamps. These footprints offer valuable insights into the lives and habitats of these extinct giants. Previously, it was believed that the desert was too inhospitable and arid to support such large populations of dinosaurs. These discoveries challenge our traditional understanding of the desert's prehistoric conditions. Adding to the intrigue, the discovery of a human finger bone near the dinosaur footprints could revolutionize our understanding of early human migrations. This finding may force us to rewrite a significant chapter in human history, particularly regarding Africa's role in the emergence of our species. This unassuming finger bone is one of the earliest examples of modern humans found outside of Africa. The discovery, made by Hugh Grokert and his team from Oxford University in the United Kingdom, took place in a location called Al-Wusta in the Nefud Desert. It poses significant challenges to long-standing theories about the initial exodus of modern humans from Africa. One specific bone, the second from the end of the finger, has sparked debates about its origins. The team confirmed its human nature by comparing it to other human finger bones, those of extinct human relatives like the Neanderthals, and even those of other primates like gorillas. Using advanced dating techniques involving the decay of radioactive uranium, the team determined the bone's age to be a staggering 85,000 years old. This revelation calls for a reconsideration of our current understanding of human history and migration. For a long time, many archaeologists believe that modern humans emerged in Africa around 70,000 years ago. From there, they quickly spread across continents, first populating Asia and Europe before reaching the Americas. However, recent discoveries in the Levant, an area east of the Mediterranean Sea including countries like Israel and Syria, challenge this long-held theory. Records of early human life in the Levant region go far beyond 70,000 years, with evidence pointing to human habitation dating back more than 100,000 years. This drastically contrasts with the established theory, hinting at a timeline far more ancient than previously thought. One particularly fascinating discovery was made by researchers Israel Hershkovitz from Tel Aviv University and Mina Weinstein-Evron from the University of Haifa. They unearthed a human jawbone that was an astonishing 177,000 years old in Israel. This startling find brought a new perspective to our understanding of human history, suggesting that humans may have lived in the Levant for tens of thousands of years, at the very least. However, many archaeologists hold the view that the Levant may have been a bottleneck of sorts, proposing that the grand human migration didn't really kick off until around 70,000 BCE. Adding another layer of complexity to the narrative, artifacts and fossils found in countries across Asia, including China and India, bear striking resemblances to those linked with humans. However, in each of these instances, there are those who remain unconvinced, casting doubts on the authenticity of the artifacts themselves or the accuracy of the dating techniques applied. A significant breakthrough came with the discovery of the Al-Wusta finger bone. This is currently the oldest confirmed piece of a modern human found outside of Africa and the Levant. This discovery supports the argument that our ancient ancestors established an early base in Saudi Arabia, suggesting they began their journey across Asia much earlier than what was previously thought. Could it be that the appeal of the region influenced the early stages of human expansion into Arabia as a place to settle? Back then, some 85,000 years ago, Arabia was quite different from what we see today. The area around Al-Wusta, where the ancient fingerbone was found, was a verdant grassland with permanent freshwater lakes, due to a wetter climate than today. The sheer abundance of remains discovered there, over 800 in total, belonged primarily to marine mammals such as hippos and buffalo. Alongside these, researchers unearthed 380 stone artifacts. These telltale signs strongly suggest that many of our ancestors chose to live near bodies of water, forming nomadic groups who sustained themselves by hunting, fishing, and gathering resources from the land and surrounding waters. These intriguing new findings are fueling fresh debates about the routes our Homo sapiens ancestors might have taken in their great exodus from Africa. Did they navigate their way through what is now Iran, following the Nile Valley, and passing through the Sinai Peninsula? Or did they perhaps take a completely different path, circumventing the Red Sea entirely, and traversing across Arabia and the Persian Gulf to reach Iran? This latter route would have been possible during the last ice age, when sea levels were significantly lower than today. The puzzle of human history continues to unravel, piece by piece, offering fascinating glimpses into our past. The question of early human migration routes out of Africa has long been a hotly contested debate among experts in the field. Two primary schools of thought have emerged, championed by different sets of researchers. One group, comprising scientists such as Hershkovitz and Weinstein-Evron, proposes a northern route that cuts across the region known as the Levant, an area encompassing modern-day countries including Israel, Lebanon, and Syria. Their counterparts, including the likes of Groves and Petralia, instead endorse a southern route, navigating through the vast and arid landscapes of Arabia. In 2015, a compelling genetic study provided some support for the northern route hypothesis. However, the report attracted its fair share of detractors who voiced criticism over the adopted methodology, casting a shadow of doubt over its conclusions. More than the routes themselves, however, Weinstein-Evron raises a captivating question. Are the early humans discovered in the Levant and Arabia part of a unified single population? Or are they the result of distinct migratory events from the African continent? Research results from the Al-Wusta site, a location tucked away within the vast Saudi Arabian desert, add a tantalizing new dimension to this ongoing debate. These findings seem to align with a theory that suggests Homo sapiens' departure from Africa occurred not in one massive wave, but rather in a series of isolated pulses. These migration bursts may have been influenced or even directly triggered by different local wet periods, times of increased rainfall and vegetation growth that would have made life more sustainable. The Saudi Arabian desert is a dry and barren place, but it holds incredible secrets from the past that give us valuable information about the ecosystem and its changes over time. Imagine stumbling upon the remains of prehistoric fish and the skeleton of an enormous whale that lived more than 30 million years ago. These amazing discoveries have survived the test of time because they were protected by sediment and other materials that surrounded them, shielding them from erosion and decay. As centuries and millennia went by, these protective layers slowly turned into rock, keeping these ancient creatures preserved for future generations to study. For example, imagine a team of paleontologists exploring the Saudi Arabian desert. They come across a fossilized fish skeleton buried deep in the sand. This fish, now extinct, swam in the ancient seas that covered the area millions of years ago. The sediment that covered the fish's remains helped create a protective cocoon that prevented it from decomposing and being destroyed by the harsh environment. Over millions of years, the sediment hardened into rock, preserving the fish skeleton in exquisite detail. This fossil can now be studied to learn more about the fish's anatomy, behavior, and its place in the ecosystem of that time. Another fascinating discovery in the Saudi Arabian desert is the skeleton of a gigantic whale. This whale lived in the ancient seas that once covered the region, but now its remains lie buried in the desert sands. Over millions of years, layers of sediment gradually covered the whale's skeleton, protecting it from the elements. As time passed, these layers transformed into rock, ensuring that the whale's bones remained intact. The discovery of this whale fossil allows scientists to gain insights into the size, structure, and evolution of these magnificent creatures from the past. These examples demonstrate how the arid landscape of the Saudi Arabian desert has preserved the remains of prehistoric life, giving us a window into the past. The protective nature of sediment and its transformation into rock has allowed these ancient fossils to withstand the test of time, providing us with valuable information about the ecosystem and its evolution millions of years ago. These fossil discoveries in the Saudi Arabian desert challenge our pre-existing ideas about the region. They offer us fascinating glimpses into its hitherto unknown past, enriching our understanding of this historically significant part of the world. These revelations highlight the urgent need to safeguard the area's invaluable natural resources and its distinctive cultural heritage from threats of destruction and depletion. Our newfound knowledge has shed some light on the mysterious patterns found in the Arabian desert. Sprinkled across the vast expanse of the Arabian Peninsula, in nations as diverse as Jordan, Saudi Arabia, Syria, Armenia, Kazakhstan, and Iraq, are intriguing large stone structures. The peculiar V-shaped arrangements of these structures have been a source of intrigue since they were first sighted by British Air Force pilots in the 1920s. More recently, cutting-edge satellite imagery and drone surveys have turned their attention to the desert of al-Qaywayn in Saudi Arabia. These stone configurations, sometimes referred to as desert kites, are of particular interest to archaeologists. The common belief among experts is that these formations served as ingenious hunting traps during ancient times. The recent discovery of numerous desert kites in al-Qaywayn lends further credibility to this hypothesis. The unique V-shaped design of these structures could be viewed as a pit, a cliff, or even a walled enclosure. Regardless of their form, each configuration seems designed for one primary purpose: the systematic herding of wild animals. Once rounded up, the creatures would be led into these desert kites, only to meet their end or be confined. While more research is needed to ascertain exactly which animals were trapped, the widespread presence of these ancient hunting traps across the Arabian Peninsula suggests that this was a common and successful survival strategy in the past. In the expansive southern regions, the work of diligent archaeologists has led to the unveiling of a multitude of ancient stone structures. The breadth of these discoveries is staggering, as we are talking about thousands of stone buildings, each of which tells a fascinating story. To make it even more captivating, the discovery does not stop at the stone buildings alone. The researchers have also come across hundreds of stone kites, adding an even deeper layer of intrigue to this unfolding archaeological narrative. One of the intriguing aspects of these findings lies in the geographical variability. A fascinating case in point is the stone kites located in the desolate yet intriguing expanse of the al-Qaywayn desert. Their structure is markedly simpler, featuring less intricate details compared to their southern counterparts. Additionally, it is not unusual to find a variety of V-shaped arrangements within these stone structures. The frequent presence of such formations in areas that were once fertile and supported seasonal grasslands leads archaeologists to believe these structures could have been used as traps for hunting. The desert's seasonal grasslands would have been home to migratory animals such as goats and gazelles, looking for sustenance in the local vegetation. The thought that these ancient structures may have played a role in capturing and harnessing these herds for food is a theory that has gained traction among the experts. Moreover, the findings also encompass various pieces of ancient rock art dating back to the same period. These art pieces intriguingly depict kite-like devices used to herd animals. In some instances, the construction of these kites suggests a possibility that they were among the first tools used in the early attempts at domestication. This possibility adds another layer of mystery and intrigue to the story. In a recent study, another fascinating detail was uncovered. It revealed the coexistence of multiple species of desert kites in the same region. These kites, some enclosed while others have vast open interiors resembling caves or deep chasms, add further diversity to the archaeological finds. This leads to a hypothesis that both closed and open kites might have been used concurrently, leading to the development of similar yet distinct hunting strategies. There's an intriguing theory that the evolution of desert kites might not follow the conventional progression. It suggests that these tools might have regressed over time, evolving from primitive prototypes to more standardized forms we see today. To decide between these two intriguing theories, further studies are needed. It's hoped that with a more comprehensive understanding of the Neolithic culture, we will one day decipher the motivations that drove our ancestors to start hunting and domesticating animals. There's also a thought-provoking hypothesis that our ability as a species to domesticate wild herds may have originated from our ancestors' early familiarity with these animal groups. However, this is just one piece of a much larger puzzle. The archaeological tapestry becomes even more complex when you consider the mustittles. These are even larger stone constructions that can stretch for kilometers and have been found encasing some kites in a block pattern. The term mustittle is derived from Arabic and sounds similar to the word for gate when viewed from above, somewhat resembling a rectangle. The purpose of the hundreds of mustitills recently discovered in the vast expanses of the Arabian desert still remains a tantalizing mystery waiting to be unraveled. The mystery-shrouded stone structures dotting the desert landscape may have played an assortment of roles throughout the course of history. While some posit that they served as locations of spiritual significance, where tribal societies might have conducted animal sacrifices or indulged in ceremonial feasts, others put forth a more pragmatic proposal. These scholars draw attention to these structures' uncanny resemblance to desert kites. Could these stone edifices have served as repositories for precious water, or perhaps as contraptions designed to herd and trap wild beasts? Despite the myriad theories, one thing remains abundantly clear. The societies that once inhabited these areas held these stone configurations in high esteem. Evidence supporting this claim comes from radiocarbon dating, a method that scientists use to determine the age of ancient artifacts and structures. When applied to these sites, it became evident that they have stood, persisting against the elements, on the Arabian Peninsula for an impressive stretch of time, originating from the prehistoric period.
The archaeological allure of these desert structures, combined with their historical significance, would make them a prime attraction for tourists. Yet, rather perplexingly, these architectural wonders of Saudi Arabian desert kites have received very little attention from the scientific community until just recently. For many years, archaeologists, intrigued by the remnants of these bygone societies, have been advocating for a more extensive exploration of these fascinating relics of the past. Their persistent calls for investigation are at last being answered, yielding intriguing discoveries and new layers of historical insight. In the year 2022, a groundbreaking discovery was made by a team of researchers in the northwestern region of Saudi Arabia, an extensive, long-abandoned highway system stretching an impressive 530 kilometers. These ancient roadways, which once served as a crucial connection between scattered oasis settlements, held further surprises. Along both sides of these worn paths, thousands of stone tombs stood as silent witnesses to the bustling life of days long past. Interestingly, it was also noted that many of these oasis settlements were the site of the very same desert kites. The archaeologists who made this extraordinary find put forward an insightful theory about the people who might have used these thoroughfares. It's likely, they speculate, that these roads were tread by nomadic tribes in their ceaseless quest for the most hospitable living conditions. A significant endeavor within the archaeological community is now underway to piece together the journey these nomads undertook thousands of years ago. These exciting discoveries serve to debunk the widely held perception of the desert as a barren wasteland, devoid of life or historical value. Instead, they shed light on the Saudi Arabian desert has an indispensable role in shaping both global ecology and the course of human history. How do these amazing discoveries in the Saudi Arabian desert transform our knowledge of the past and the relationships between ancient civilizations? Share your thoughts in the comments below and hit that like and subscribe for more.